Minister for Pacific Peoples and the MP for Māngere, the Honourable Aupito William Sio, joining us on the couch. Maro soi fora o whionga, Aupito. And, well, I was just thinking, what is it? In terms of service for you, tautua, you know, it's something when we read about the, you know, the work that you're doing now as Minister in terms of Manukau City Council or Deputy Mayor, local boards, etc., etc. You know, how long has the sense of community for you, you know, been embedded, and you know, how much of it is from your upbringing, especially, you know, from your family?
Yeah, I grown up old school, born in the islands, and taught from, you know, as a toddler, o le ala pula tautua. And you begin by doing chores. I think I remember saying to my next sibling, it's your turn now to wash the dishes. And yeah, I've been around all my life, my extended family, the village elders, whether it be the church or the village itself. You sit and you listen and you observe and you get up, and you have to be prepared. That's the other thing, because sometimes the old people says, "Ko e lunga face coloured man, stand up and say something about this." Well, you can't just say, "Hi, Brian." There's a certain language you have to use. So it's right throughout my whole life, and it's what also I incorporate in the role that I play as Minister in politics.
Talk to me about your parents.
Well, I mean, they were like many Samoan parents, planters, hard workers on the land, came to New Zealand in the late 60s because of that dream to provide opportunities for us children to serve the family back in the islands and to serve the collective. My mum was my number one supporter. You know, I could talk to her and without being judgmental. She was never afraid for me. She would encourage me. My dad, who now enjoys the fruits of my work, was always fearful because he came from an age where politics was war. You know, and it was rough in those days because politics in Samoa were aligned to matai or familiar ties, you know, not on values or political beliefs, but on who are you related to. And so he was always fearful that I might get myself into trouble or get hurt. But my mother passed away before I became a member of Parliament. In fact, she passed away before I was on City Council, and so. But her teachings resonate with me and remain with me. You know, do the best you can, whatever thou art, act well thy part is one of the things she taught me from a young age, and those things stay and remain. Be honest, true, and chaste. You know, you strive to do that. Nobody's perfect. You make mistakes along the way, but I think what she taught me was you strive for those things. And if you do make a mistake, you know, burn those bridges and keep moving forward.
Yeah. You know, in terms of the election coming up on the 17th, what's the main message for you to our Pacific community watching this?
Well, I've been involved in the Labour Party since 1986, and, you know, I'm a believer in what we are trying to do as a political party. The party's principles resonate with my own values and principles. I think they resonate with Pacific values and principles. You know, the value of doing things collectively for the benefit of the collective, supporting families, supporting the most vulnerable in our communities and those who can't help themselves. And so for me, it's difficult because I don't try to, I won't ever ask people to vote for the Labour Party. or vote for me. What I'll ask of them is, look at what we're trying to do. And if you believe in those things, if they resonate with you, support us to make it happen. Because I'm not trying to do anything for my own good. The Prime Minister isn't working for herself and her family. We're working for the good and betterment of New Zealand society. So I'd ask our communities to think about, second thing, I'd ask them to vote, you know, and cherish that opportunity. Get the whole family around and talk about why it's important. We have these discussions in my household. They don't all necessarily, well, I shouldn't say that because I don't know who they vote for. But in those family discussions, you know, each one of those kids have their own beliefs.
I've got a few colours here. If you can just...
I know. So I really want them to participate, irrespective of who they choose, participate. And the third message I would say is, don't say that you're not interested in politics. Because when somebody tells me they're not interested in politics, to me, I take that really badly. It means that they're not interested in the future of this country. And if they're not interested in the future of this country, it means they don't care about what happens to our education system, to our health system. They don't care about whether the workforce gets better jobs, better paying jobs. And so when somebody says that to me, I just quietly say, look, be interested in what's happening in the country. Young people sort of, I've got a few in my household, so I'm not trying to badmouth all young people, but I'm referring to the ones in my household. You know, sometimes I get challenged, this is boring, why should I vote, get involved in this? And I just say, you know, pretty soon you'll have your own family, and then you become interested. So better to get interested earlier than later.
Nice. I thought for a minute you were going to say, you know, if you're not going to vote, get out of the country. But,
I have said to a couple of the young ones at home, there's the door, pack your bags, go find your own future.
Well, a very big thank you. Whakataitele lava, Laua Whionga, Minister for the Pacific Peoples, the Honourable Aupito William Sio. All the very best for the upcoming elections.
Thank you, man.